Hey everybody, it's Busted Strategies number 10, jumping into another Innistrad Premier Draft. Back to the best of ones, accidentally played best of three in that previous one. And so, back to the best of ones where we want to be. Let's see how this goes. Hopefully we can improve on that last one. It's getting real frustrating in that sense. It feels like I'm missing something like very basic. Like the switch just hasn't like flipped on this format for me, which feels kind of painful. I mean, I guess like we're trying to go from being kind of like extremely good at Runeterra Limited and then not playing Magic for 5 or 6 years and then trying to jump right back in. And so I get that there's a learning curve that I'm kind of missing, but it feels like there's just something like very basic about these drafts that's going wrong, and I haven't like quite picked up on it. But it's not bad. It's still, if things kind of continue on the way they're trending, we might push our way into Diamond this week, and I think that's kind of I don't know probably pretty decent in the terms of only played Magic for I don't know 9 days at this point. It's not that bad. Oh, let's get the screen flipped here. So okay, so as you know, the way that we've been kind of looking at these, we want to start off with either a big bomb kind of card or a removal spell. I don't think Galvanic Iteration really fits the bill there. I have no like real desires to draft Izzet, but we can kind of keep in mind that this is here, and if Izzet's a thing, we could potentially do it. But we don't have the likes of uh, the thermo tapper for a damage thing. And so as these cards go, I think the Dreadhound is the big choice here. It plays fantastically in all of the black based strategies, any of the mill strategies it's fine with, the sacrifice strategies it's fine with, the zombies strategies it's fine with. It's just a great piece of top end where I feel like black really lacks in the top end unless you're in like blue as well. And so I think it's a strong man here. Nice place to be starting. Okay. Okay, so again, kind of the same idea. I would like to be picking up kind of like a bomb style unit or a removal spell. The only removal is Sun Gold Barrage, and this is very replaceable. And so I'm looking here at either like the Hobbling Zombie or the Flesh Taker. Both I could see working with the Dreadhound, and it's like I'm kind of trying to adjust in these drafts, and I think for these like first few picks, I need to kind of abandon just kind of like color synergy and just go for the strongest cards. I think that might be kind of the point, one of the points where I'm having kind of some issues here. And so I think our choices would be the Flesh Taker or the Hobbling Zombie. Like the initial idea was to just take the Hobbling Zombie and that it's black and keeps our options open. But I think I'm just going to go in the higher risk, higher reward pick in the Flesh Taker. Okay, not a bad set. Kind of the same thing with this pack. Again, I don't. We could end up with this set where we had taken that zombie in the previous pack and then the siege zombie here. I mean, that seems like a pretty fantastic start, but I think I'm looking at just taking the Shadow Beast sighting with this one. Again, there's no removals here. There's no bomb kind of cards. There's Candle Trap and Silverbolt as removal, but I don't think we have to jump out of the way to pick those up if we're going to be playing black. So I think we're just going to come in and take the Siege Zombie here. This is the one where it's like, if I'm trying to play to these strengths of just taking the strongest card, that's going to be the Shadow Beast sighting. But this one's kind of tough to read into where they've taken a rare and an uncommon out. All right, well, let's just go all in with this strategy and just take the strongest card here. I do think the Shadow Beast sighting is stronger than the Siege Zombie. So let's see where that gets us. Okay. Well, this should be a pretty easy Rite of Oblivion. I think that's going to be the strongest one here. Getting the double removal spell is quite good. Already having the white-black card is strong as well. Okay, another siege zombie making the rounds, and so maybe white-black is just completely open here. Oh, we got a foul play. Look at all these. Look at all these white-black cards. That's insane. Look at this. You got the foul play, the borrowed time, and then the digraph horde. I was going to immediately just take the foul play, but I'm not convinced that it's better than borrowed time. Well, it has the investigate attached to it. It's probably just better. Wow. Okay, well, I think the things are working. If we hadn't gotten into these like white black cards, I would think the Grizzly Ghoul would be kind of okay here. If we kind of pieced more into green black, then of course the Ghoul would look nice. But we'll snatch up the Morcut Behemoth here. It's a fantastic piece of top end for this style of deck. And I think we're all in on white black here. I'm curious, like what the people to our right were passing for these to start drying up, or if those were really just kind of like high rolled packs. But nothing in the sense we could be playing here. I don't think we ever play Crossroads Candle Guide. I mean, I wonder if this again. I don't think I'm going to play this. I wonder if this is just one of these cards we should have like given more of a shot up to this point. Interesting, but. Fantastic 8th pick Siege Zombie. Working good for me. Okay, and then I don't feel like this is a deck where we really need duel for... Oh, we're not even playing green. I was going to say, I don't feel like we need duel for dominances here. No, we're just not going to play green. I feel like we're pretty solidly into white-black. Let's keep it here. We've only got the 2 white cards. I gotta keep that option open. But this Rite of Oblivion Flesh Taker is just so incredibly powerful. All right, we'll take the rare. Okay, doesn't look like anything to play here, so we'll take another Crossroads Guide. Maybe there's a world where we play Blade Brand. The only time I've really been kind of like okay with Blade Brand is if we have a bunch of that like 1/2/2 drop that wants to come down and just interact in combat in any way it can. And letting it like trade and cycle the Blade Brand and draw a card from both cards seems reasonable, but okay. Can't decide like at what point I'm wanting to play these graveyard removals. There's just huge value for these things in this format, but I mean this dude's reasonably statted, right? He's bigger than a hill giant. He's easy to cast. We're not rarely playing 3 colors, but he does help in that sense. I don't know. Seems quite easy to just have a bunch of 4-drops though. Okay, so in this one, there's Ludovic, which is fine. We're not playing blue-black, though, so he's going to have to go. With these, I'm looking towards the Morbid Opportunist, just a big-time game closer. Anytime there's a big board stall, he just tends to run things over, and then especially if we're able to generate some of the zombies with Decay, just giving us kind of the guaranteed sacrifice. I think this is a fantastic pickup here. Okay, so another strong set here in the Eaten Alive. We've got the things we could potentially look to table. We might get a Candle Trap back out of this. Wouldn't be upset to have an Odric's Outrider return as well, but the Eaten Alive is the big choice here. Get them removal spells in our deck. Okay. All right. Well, things are starting to shape up like this. I look at these cards and it's like I want to just take the Death Bonnet Sprout. Like, what point are we willing to abandon these? I mean, we don't have any green cards anyways. We just have the Shadow Beast sighting, right? We passed on that green card earlier. I feel like I'm probably just overthinking that. Let's pick up the Morning Patrol here. I really love these Death Bonnet Sprouts, and they play quite nicely in these self-mill strategies, but we don't have any of the... Maybe if we had some of like the Eccentric Farmers, I would be okay with jumping into Death Bonnet Sprout, but I think we have to accept we're just pretty solidly in white-black. Second Eaten Alive. Gonna work for me. I shouldn't say we're solidly in white-black. We only have like 2.5 white cards here, but I think that's where we're at. And I'm okay with the Ecstatic Awakener. Hopefully we can pick up some of the sacrificed effects along the way here, but given how good our removal is, I don't think we need to be taking cards like Sun Gold Barrage. We need to flesh out the rest of our deck, right? We've got 2 Eaten Alives, the Rite of Oblivion, and then the Foul Play. We are just pretty well set as far as the guaranteed removals go. All right, cool. Flesh Taker is a great addition. All right. right. And so I'm looking at this Candle Grove Witch because I have a hard time passing on flyers here, but I think we need the Novice Occultist as a kind of build around card. This is the one I was talking about where it's like I don't hate Blade Brand if I'm playing a bunch of Occultists, but here we've got the two Eaten Alives, the Flesh Takers we might want to use in the Ecstatic Awakener. We've got a lot of things we're looking to have sacrifice targets for. Okay, well, I can safely say we don't need any more Crossroads Candle Guides. We have two. I'm just kind of looking at Rotten Reunion here. I don't like the Reunion unless we have mill effects, but this might be a deck to where it's not unreasonable. I'd rather be playing cards like Craw from the Cellar. It's good. The Candle Trap tabled. Pick up them removal spells. All right. So yeah, this is coming together reasonably. Let's get the Rotten Reunion out of here. I want to get the Blade Brand out of here. It's coming together. Yeah, maybe there's a world where we play Thraben Exorcism. But here, I mean, Sun Gold Sentinel, fantastic. Just having, we were talking about the graveyard removal being decent, and this is just a fantastic way to have graveyard removal. And so, happily to pick up the Sentinel. We're not really missing out on much here. We have two Eaten Alive, so we don't need to go out of our way to pick up more of these, although I would be willing to play them. There is the Cut Purse, which is a fantastic unit, but I think the Sentinel is just going to be more on target for what we're trying to pull off here. Okay. At what point do we just try to like really high roll this and have Flesh Taker table? Because like the thing I'm looking at with this and like my worry is we don't have any way to be like generating the decayed zombies. Like we don't have that enchantment that puts the zombie on the board whenever something dies. And I'm looking to just kind of pick things that aren't 2-drops here. So I'm leaning towards the Hobbling Zombie. Quit hitting that. That's not the one I want. Like our early game is fine. 2, 3, 4. We got 5 2s. We'll probably pick up another one along the way, along with the Awakener. Yeah, I think this is fine. Okay, well this one's looking like a Shady Traveler. Poppet Stitcher's is mythic. This would be nice for our deck. There's no way we're playing this, but all right. Well, it's going to be the Shady Traveler. Okay. So we do have a choice here. Do we want to pick up the Search Party Captain or the Morcut Behemoth? Our top end. I think I want another Behemoth. I feel like we're just like a little bit lacking up here at the top end of our curve. The Party Captain would be good here, but I just want to ensure that we have enough late game burrows. Okay, perfect. Here's a good mid game play. I would rather be playing Silversmiths as opposed to these Candle Guides, so glad to add in him. All right, no white and or black cards. Oh, there's a Hogwitch mask. How do you say that? The Hogwarts mask. Okay, cool. Gavany Trapper. Always glad to have at least one copy of this. This is good. This is coming together reasonably. Pick up the Barrage. It's the only white card. I don't think we'll ever play any of these. Let's pick up the Exorcism. See how this rounds out here. Okay, yeah. The only thing I'm really upset about with this deck is we don't have a lot of zombie generation. We just didn't see any of it. We passed on a handful of who were you? The 3-drop I'm looking for. We passed on a handful of Hobbling Zombies, but that's been kind of the only one that we really let get out of our way. Does this even do? Search your library for an artifact with a mana ability or a basic land. Okay, well this deck construction should come together pretty quickly. It's like we're sitting on about 25 playables, so we just got to get 2 of these out of here. Let's see. I see like a Thraben Exorcism that I don't really want. What's our unit count at? 17. We could lose a unit as well. So yeah, let's get rid of the Thraben Exorcism. I just don't think this is a main deckable card. Otherwise, I think we were just looking at removing a Crossroads Candle Guide. I'm actually not opposed to just hanging on to these though. Like our curve is kind of lacking at the top end, and so looking more towards like this middle ground set of cards down here. Like I think we want to keep the Morning Patrol. I think this is probably a little bit better than like a Shady Traveler in this deck, just in the sense that if we need to like sacrifice it and generate the Disturb, then that's okay. I could see an argument for getting rid of the Ecstatic Awakener, but I kind of like having just this early game play if we need it, just as a like a cheap sacrificeable, or just drawing cards off the things that have been candle trapped or whatever. I think that's fine. Never trading out the Opportunist. We have looking at just taking out Sun Gold Barrage at this point. It's like I feel like we need to keep this like generally higher stack of creatures because we don't have the sacrificeable stuff. Like if we had like 2 or 3 occultists and we had like 2 hobbling zombies and then like a way to generate the zombies, I think we could get rid of another unit, but I think we're just going to have stuff around to sacrifice with a deck like this. So let's take the Sun Gold Barrage out, right? We have 3 unconditional removals and the 2 Eaten Alives and the Foul Play, and then we still have a Candle Trap, the Edge, Rite of Oblivion. I think that's fine. I think this is good. Okay. Okay. Strong enough, I think. Let's get to it. All right, let's get to it. Playing with some disadvantages today, so let's see if we can do okay. The wife painted some stuff, so probably high right now. Never know. I went to college, do know. Not high right now, but if anything goes wrong, we will blame it on the paint fumes. And then, man, I was sweating my sack off in the last video. Like the way the weather works out here in the Midwest in the fall is it'll be like 40 degrees on the morning, and then it'll be 80 degrees in the afternoon, and it just like fucks up uh, all of the air conditioning, and so like the level of the house I'm on was like steaming hot, because Midwest, and the AC wouldn't kick on because it was colder in the rest of the house. It was a struggle. But alrighty, anyways, back to the action here. I don't think this Hermit is really worth a trade. Like, we're not a big Siege Zombie deck. I'm not opposed to letting the Siege Zombie die. I just think it's a little bit early to be going for this. We will have to watch out for this Dum Dum having this sacrifice effect when we have 3 removal spells in our hand. But hopefully it's not too much to play around. I think we probably should have just attacked. Can't attack anymore, but all right. Well, let's get the hobbling zombie out of here. This will let us start attacking, and then I think I am good to be coming in with the siege zombie. Let's be real. Let's get this in here. Okay. Okay. What you got for us, dude? Just gonna play a 3? Eaten alive. Okay. Pretty okay with that. I mean, I think I'm ready to just like claw for the cellar this thing back. Was this it? Counter target non-creature spell. Alright, let's see what happens. Why can't we play this? Oh, we exiled our dude. Is that what that did? Oh, it exiles. Okay. That would make sense as to why we can't play our card. Oh, and I forgot we had the investigate. We're being sloppy today. It's the paint fumes, man. It's the paint fumes. They're getting me. Okay. And are we really like willing to crawl from the cellar up a siege zombie? I don't think so. We're not in a huge hurry right at this exact moment, so we can let that hang out for a bit. Okay. That is getting removal spelled. No two ways about that. With the way this mana has to pay out, let's just go ahead and pay the Eaten Alive on the full price. It's going to get awkward at some point when he has this Hermit on the board. So glad to just go ahead and get rid of it. Kind of cancels their crawl from the cellars as well. It's okay. All the big boys. Did hit a crawl from the cellar. Okay. Doesn't feel like pulling back siege zombies worthwhile at this point. Like, I don't care about the +1/+1 counter from the crawl from the cellar. Like, that would have been nice to put on our siege zombie, but I think we can find a better target for this thing if we just wait around for a bit. Right, here's the big decisions. They're being made. Thinking about bringing back his hobbling zombie. Couldn't... Oh, we were summoning sick. Okay. Alright, well, I feel like we probably need to get this Scab Wrangler out of here. It's not, like, super high valued, but we're free to kind of sacrifice things off with this Rite of Oblivion now. Oh, target. We gotta pick this one. Sacrifice something. Then again, these don't feel like things I'd want to crawl from the cellar. I'm okay with, like, crawl from the cellar and Gavany Trapper, I guess. Since it just kind of counts as a... you know, removal spell for the rest of the game. Okay, take us to 12. All right, we're ready for battle now. It says menace, right? we can attack past the amalgam. Okay. We're good to keep this thing tapped for a while, so I'm not super worried about that coming down. Think about something else? What's your last card here? Okay. We had a he had a more cut behemoth in there. That was not a bad mill. Not a bad time to pick up this Crossroads Candle guide. We can ace his crawl from the cellar. Here we go. The big boy. Look at all these stats. A 3/4 in the face of this. Alright, he can't be blocked. You can time that a little better so you don't have to spend your mana. You can attack with it first and see if they and then make it unblockable before blockers. Alright, well, pretty commanding board now. Then I think I'm willing to just pay full price. Sure. I was gonna say, I think I'm willing to pay full price on the Behemoth and not be able to tap anything next turn. It's not a big deal to just take the 3 damage, and I don't want to lose any of our units here. Auto pay. Right, who cares if he attacks with the amalgam? If he does, we're just lethal anyways, so. Cool. Got a victory under our belts. Good job, deck. Moving on. Yeah, I can't tell if I remember if I said the solution to sweating my balls off and dying from these paint fumes. Got the window open back here. That took some work as well. Had to get out. It was painted shut. Annoying as hell. We did it. We managed to get the air moving. All right. This hand's a never keep. We're getting rid of this thing. Opponent took a mulligan as well. This is serviceable. Let's just send away. I mean, these things are like so cheap-ish, right? If we can get down the Behemoth for 5, I'm gonna be a little greedy here and just cycle off a land and keep our high-valued unit. Between having like the Trapper and a Death Touch unit, I think we can just come out here and buy some time. Ooh, a no 3? That seems painful for a Vampire's deck. This would be a big turn for them to try and get the damage in. This was when they get to play the 4-cost guy that gives you 3 mana back. Okay. Have to take the damage from this thing. I don't think it's worth just tapping. Maybe it is until we get our Behemoth on board. Like if we just add the Ecstatic Awakener and then tap his Scoundrel next turn. That buys us a ton of time. I mean, I'm not even opposed if we draw a land to just be like Shady Traveler into tap again. Right? This feels like a classic don't lose and we'll win kind of game. Oh, shit. We should have attacked with our Awakener. He highlighted it. I think he's going to play the Neonite's Blessing. Oh, defense trait. Sure. Glad to see that come out of the way before we play our Moorcut Behemoth. They're like their things are going to be like raise dead kind of effects. Let's just take the unit away. We'll actually get in for our point of damage this time. Get them good. Whoa. Didn't expect that one. As much as I'd say opponent didn't expect to see the Scarecrow come down. Okay. I kind of want to just pay the full amount now. I think this is okay. Like, we'll pay the 7, and then that'll leave us with mana to activate this Ecstatic Awakener. So if we take, like, one hit from Boneclaw Marauder, that's fine. We can get back to just tapping it next turn. Yeah, I think this is good. Because I want to be drawing the card with the Ecstatic Awakener as well. Make sure this game doesn't F up our mana. I got so mad earlier. I had this play lined up to where I was playing the Vampire that gives you 3 mana when it comes down, and then I wanted to flash back a green card, and it tapped all our green mana, and I wasn't paying enough attention. It was pretty not awesome the way that all played out. I'm still a little salty about it. So here we've awoken the demon, which is fine. He's ready to block next turn. And then we should be getting into a space to where we could just potentially lethal with a tap on our turn. We're going to be one short on that kind of play. All right, but I think we're good. Got him. Oof. I feel like we played that guy before. I remember somebody else hanging out in the platinum ranks, getting close to diamond. I can't remember the things I've talked about, the things I haven't. I was getting a little salty in that video, in the previous one, in number 9. Again, it feels like there's something I'm just kind of missing. But you know, for having not played Magic for, I can't remember the World Wake Awakened. That might have been like whatever that one was called. I think it was one of the last Eldrazi sets. Was the last time I was really playing, and so I feel like we've made a pretty decent run at it. I mean, I've been card gaming since then, but not playing Magic since then. And so being like 8 or 9 days in it and still being able to push Diamond feels good. Should only be a matter of time before we're good enough to be able to push into Mythic. I guess that would feel kind of bad if it just didn't take us any work and just ran straight into Mythic. That's actually how it kind of felt playing Eternal. Anywho, back to the action here. We'll just continue to play on curve, get our Hobbling Zombie down. Not looking bad. We need a 4th land, but even if we don't pick it up, we still have plenty of things to do. Let's add the Flesh Taker. It doesn't feel like a space where he's going to be like dropping removal spells on us, though. Okay. No attacks, please. Okay. Just prevent that damage. Again, we just need time with this kind of deck. Crawl from the cellar. I think we want to actually play it here. So let's add Flesh Taker. I'm looking to just crawl from the cellar back the Hobbling Zombie. That's our most kind of sacrificable thing. Oh, we don't have the mana to do that. Oops. Alright. We will not be doing that. That will not be a thing today. I think we want to just discard the flashback card and the expensive card. Opponent installed on land too, but... Right, we're really close to getting this Morcut Behemoth down. This deck should have some issues with that. There we go. We'll just take the unit out. Again, they're most likely to have a Raise Dead style card. I guess there is like the Forecast Archivist kind of guy that returns a spell to your hand, but I think that's much less common than having the Raise Deads. Alright. So weird. I mean, we're against black-red. I don't think we want to attack, but... Alright, no attacks. Let's just bring a dude back. Hobbling Zombie is the best kind of combat interactive unit here. Again, give us some of these sacrifice effects for our Behemoth and our Eaten Alive. Oh my gosh, he did have it, huh? Speaking of the devil. Alright, well he just picked up the foul play, so let's see if he's probably going to spend it on our Candle Guide, but I don't want to be throwing down our Behemoth while he just picked up the unconditional removal. Alright, Behemoth, do your thing. I'm counting on you, my friend. Uh-oh, he's highlighting it and stuff. He highlights it and then highlights his investigate, so maybe he's okay. F. He's not. This is not good. We're not going to play a good tempo game against these people. We've shied away from our don't lose until you win style game plan. We've taken a bunch of probably unnecessary damage, and we could just be blocking with Candle Guide. But that's a tough unit for them to deal with. Oh, jeez. I'm going to keep the Awakener. I want to have the card draw out of this. Right, well, let's see where that gets us. He's way outdone us in card advantage. This is not something I expected to see out of a red-black deck. It's been pretty crazy. Yeah, between generating the clues and all this other stuff. How do we win this game? I think we have to attack with the Demon. We can trade it for the Diregraph Horde, or he just takes it. We can't attack with everything or he'll kill us on the crack. He's just going to kill us on the crackback anyways, right? I discounted all of these zombies down here. Maybe you'll forget about him. But yeah, I don't like our game plan in this. I don't think at any like particular point we played it that poorly, but I don't think we should have been attacking with this Candle Guide. But again, like there's no real way for us to out card advantage this guy. The way that this game has gone, like he got the double mind rot, and he had the elementalist to return a card, and he had the 2 investigates. Like that. Let's be real. That's really tough for a deck. We're not like completely control tracking it, but we're trying to a degree. Really tough for us to overwhelm. Not expect all that stuff coming out of a black red deck. That was pretty wild. Alright, well, I think we can keep this. This feels like a kind of a greedy one, but I like how this curves. Maybe on the draw it would be a little bit too slow, but on the play it seems fine. Uh-oh. Is he going to start dropping 4/4s on us? I love this Root Coil Creeper. This is such a good unit. You gotta remember, things aren't units anymore. It's such a good creature. Okay. What is this thing? Cards leave your graveyard, put a 1/1 on it. When it dies, gain life. Man, I wanted to come in here and just like remove his Gale Rider. Alright, I guess you can have a bonus. That's lame. What better way to describe this? That's lame. Okay. Interesting he's considering here, right? I mean, he has a land in his hand. Huh. I don't know what he would be digging for, unless it's just like he plans on playing a 4-drop and wanted to check out his options. I don't know about that. I don't like this. Nothing here's good. This is pretty bad. We drew 2 land is what came out of that. Okay. I was gonna say something that seems like very suspect here. I thought that he was just gonna be like holding on to the counter spell, and I don't think we can like risk losing our behemoth. I think that's fine. Okay. Sure. Why? If your plan was to startle, why wouldn't you attack with the creeper? Alright. Where does this leave us? It's, again, getting kind of awkward. It's like, I want to pay like full price on this behemoth because we want to keep the zombie around for our Rite of Oblivion. That's it's a reasonable pickup there. He doesn't have any units in his graveyard, so this Death Bonnet Sprout's far from dangerous. We'll give the Willow Geist the bonus though. I think it's fine. Alright, then we took the land out of their graveyard. If they play additional Eccentric Farmers, I don't want them to have the guaranteed land. Okay. Time for recovery and stuff like that. So he can potentially counterspell this, but I mean, he's kind of running out of cards at this point. So let's pay full price. Auto pay. No attacks. And see if we can't get something going with the behemoth. All these dumb removal spells are sorcery speed. I want to be able to to attack with the behemoth and kill something mid combat. All right. Well, oh, that doesn't work. Okay. Oh, nope. I get this backwards all the time. So we want to target this thing, sacrifice you, submit. Let's add Silversmith. Still can't attack, but we're getting close to being able to attack. And I want the 4/5 so it can interact with the beasts. Push to stop. Okay. How do I stop? Remove stop. There we go. Jeez. Not bad. Not bad. As long as you control a token. Oh, man. Putting in the work. Righty, and our good friend Bird Admirer. So what do we got here? Perfect. We can add the Opportunist. I don't care about this Root Creeper anymore, so I'm going to play Foul Play over here onto the Bird Admirer, and then let's get this card advantage rolling. We're gonna add Trapper. We're not in a hurry to sacrifice off the clue. Alright, he's got the Hulk now. Slightly annoying, but not the end of the world. I think that's who we want to take down here. Let's just draw 100 cards. Target. That would be the Hulk. Sacrifice a permanent, the Occultist. Alright, now we're getting to the do cool stuff segment of the game. So it should be tough for us to fall behind here, unless they have some kind of like absolute bomb of a card. We're going to get to just start tapping their dudes, and the Behemoth should be a good attack next turn. Just start getting these going. Another Shadow Beast right on top. Alright, let's start. He can't lethal us from this far out. And if we get to start trading our Behemoth for 2 4/4s, and then we get to pick up a card from the process, like this is all just good. Okay, I'm gonna try to kill off the tokens. I don't think we're ever gonna be turning this tracker into a 2/3, but might as well give it a shot. Now that we've picked up a second eaten alive, I think I'm kind of okay with spewing one off. Hey. You. Okay. Alright, slowly but surely, I think we're getting there. Then we're gonna have to play this eaten alive if we don't want it to go to night. It's not great, not horrible. Okay. Not the best of trades, but it does get us a dead dude here. It's fine. The Sentinel can actually legitimately attack here quite a bit, so that's nice. Does it even matter with this stuff? Guess we can take their creatures out. Cards we got left 16. We still have like some top end in here, right? We have the Dreadhound and the Behemoth, and then we have the Crawl from the Cellar to bring our big boys back. Just we haven't been seeing them. Right, the big decisions are being made though. Okay. Too bad that doesn't get counterspelled trying to hit our hexproof unit. Okay, let's see what we draw. We're running out of land as well. We only got 5 left. It's like a 30% chance to draw land. Got those worn out. Of course. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Oh, that exiles? Oh, shit. That was sloppy. That was my bad. I thought we were going to get to draw a card off the Opportunist. But alright, we're making progress. We're going to get him to 17. 6 more turns of this and we'll have lethal. So yeah, I would like to have that removal spell back. I was just turning it off because I felt like playing it and drawing a card is going to be fine. But that was my bad. Did opponent just rage quit on a Sun Gold Sentinel? No. Alright, but I will admit this game is still far from won. We could very easily end up losing this game. if they just top deck some bomb we don't have an answer to, especially since, like, that's why I wanted to hang on to the, I wanted to hang on to the, why don't we get to draw a card off that one? Oh, he exiles? Everything exiles. This game's dumb. but no, if they pick up some kind of bomb, that's why I wanted to keep the removal spell in hand. Hopefully we don't get too punished for that. Okay. He's got a big-ass board now. This is never blocking, so let's go ahead and just send it in. Okay, we gotta draw one of our big ones at some point. Oh my gosh, he only has 3 cards left in his deck? He's gonna have 0 left now, right? He's gonna Organ Horde down to no library? I guess we didn't have to worry about winning so much. I should have paid a little closer attention to that. Alright, a win's a win. Move it on. It is one of those things that's a little easier to see in paper. You just look over and see your opponent's deck is all tiny. So. What do we got here? We got a 2 and a 3 with a removal spell. Sure. Can't ask for too much out of this deck. Uh-oh. Here come the aggros. Now this could be problematic against vampires. We don't have a super interactive hand here. Can't block. He can just first strike our dude down. Alright, well, let's just get our friend back. Okay, you can level up with keep leveling up with the Blood Thief. We have the Eaten Alive if we want to take down the Stinger. Which is fine. I mean, a 3/3 first striker is going to give us fits for the rest of the game, so I'm not opposed to just playing Eaten Alive on it. Depends on what they follow up with. Okay. So do we want to sacrifice this to the Occultist? I doubt it. I mean, I think I'd rather just be out here blocking with the Occultist at some point. So let's pay full price. Pay. Take this down. And then no attacks. You know, I kind of want to just trade out the Flesh Taker here, but I mean, if we're going to add in the Occultist, let's just lose the Traveler. Could try to craft a world where we just flip that unit, but I think I want to play for value here against the vampires. They've stalled out. They, like I say, they should be playing a bunch of kind of like crappy 2 and 3 drop units, and then they really just have like one big boy at the end of the day. I think this is fine. That is a big boy. We want more flesh takers? I think that's fine. At least lets us kind of block this stuff on board. That feels good, right? Like, if we trade out here, he has more cards in hand, but his cards should be lower quality than our cards. It's fine. We still got to crawl from the cellar to bring something back if we want. Don't have a lot of good stuff to bring back. I mean, like, it looks like we're trying to bring back the Novice Occultist here, but I think the Dreadhound should start carrying its weight. Ooh, does this mean no attack? He would have attacked first if he was gonna count on that. All right, we milled we milled all kinds of stuff there. We have 2 creatures and one of them being a disturb along with a flashback spell. Not bad, not bad, dog. Just the Dread Knight we can take and fall to 9. If we get opportunities for trades on these smaller units with the Flesh Takers, then I'll take it. And then we're gonna have to Rite of Oblivion this Harrier. I guess we don't have to. We could Rite of Oblivion, like just the Dread Knight. Now we're in a space where we're just going to trade for it. I don't really like that. So let's do this. Let's add the Morning Patrol. This thing has first strike if memory serves. Oh, you're flying Vigilance. Wrong one. Okay. Target the Harrier. Sacrifice the Flyer. And now if we're out here... yeah, definitely want the Eaten Alive on top. Now if we're out here trading off the Dreadhound, I think that's okay. We can just bring it back next turn with the Crawl from the Cellar. Willing to block it all, my dude. Where did you go, Dreadhound? Then what do we think about just playing Eaten Alive on the Shady Traveler? We're gonna have to like deal with it for a turn. I don't like it. Just like he just has a board full of good attacks here. We're gonna have to take like 4. Right, we put a flesh taker in front of the Infiltrator. I think it's tempting just to take everything down. I think I like this. been a good turn to draw a combat trick. Because that attack looks required even without a trick. But this should get us in a pretty good space, assuming that's not what he has. Okay. Alright, Dreadhound, do your thing. Get them good mills. 2 swamps and a Morka Behemoth. Ew. Alright. Well, opponent's definitely at the advantage now. I mean, maybe we should have just played Eaten Alive and waited on our unit. It doesn't seem like that was too greedy. I definitely don't like the spot we're in now, though. Oh my goodness. Oh, what a bonkers draw. Alright. We don't have any of those. We don't have any mythics in our deck today. Alright. That was brutal. Alright, so how's this one look? Not exciting. Like, we really need some zombie generation in this stuff to pop off with things like Eaten Alive, but it's got a reasonable amount of mana and spells we can play. What more can you ask for out of a hand? Let's just go ahead and bring it back. I want to I want to be playing the Silversmith next turn. So I want to get the full value out of the tokens. Otherwise, our hand just doesn't do anything. Seems like opponents might be kind of effed on the land here. All right. I'm tempted to just Eaten Alive here. If they have, tricks, then this feels pretty bad. If they have, like Flash Wolf here, then that's an acceptable trade. But it seems like they probably just don't have anything here. But it feels like the only way they really come back here is if they have like a combat trick and get to shut down our board. Okay. The mana was not agreeing with opponent. That's 3. The old 1400 gems. That's kind of our magical spot to get to. I've been doing a lot of losing at draft this week. I haven't been recording every draft that we've done, but it feels like as long as you're getting to this like 1400 gems point, then you can kind of do this forever. But losing out on those drafts at like the 1 and the 2 space is just horrible, horrible. All right, a reasonable enough keep. We got a 1 and a 2. We got things to do with our mana. All anyone could ever ask for. All attack. Aggro. I can do that aggro thing too. Is there a punish here with this amount of mana? I think if he has a Cathar, we're okay with it. Just wasn't that interested in trading. And a trapper. So like, how aggressive would we like to stay here? I think the whole way is how aggressive. Surprised he didn't come down and block last turn. If he tries to put the commando in front of the Awakener, I'm 100% going to flip here. This seems like ultra greedy. Right, we just have like a tempo draw here. We're not actually an aggro deck. Okay. Now if he has like a burn spell here, this is pretty disastrous, but yeah. At least we get to draw a card off of the thing. And, oh boy. There we go. Here's our chance to complain about the mana. I guess we have cards like Eaten Alive in our hand to where they may actually want to make a decision that way. But all right, let's crawl from the cellar. We got to spend all of our mana now. I think I want another Awakener. Yeah, that flip was probably just too greedy. Like our opponent, we should have like known our opponent clearly knows what's up when we're trying to, like when we make that attack. That was on us. Like if you're playing in like bronze and you want to try to make plays like that, it may be okay. But I think we should have given our opponents a little bit more credit here. But, I mean, I think we're still fine. Alright, we'll take the bait on whatever you're doing here. Can just sacrifice the Cathar and take our artifact out, but... If he has the +3/+3 indestructible combat trick, it's not the end of the world. Okay. Oh well, here let's go to combat first. Turns into the Flying Death Touch. Okay. I assume he's going to tap something. Yep. And yeah, this is our big issue with this deck. We didn't get enough zombie generators. I wish we had a way to go back and kind of fix that. Or if not zombie generators, ways to have like just some of those really cheap disturb kind of cards. Okay, just gotta be in damage prevent mode here. I want to sacrifice. Do we want to sacrifice the creature? We have to take 2 more damage from the Interloper. I don't think so. I think I want to keep this mana for the Awakener. Oof. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting close. We might have dug ourselves out of this hole. Dreadhound Part 2. Alright, so we take an additional damage. It's 2 problems here, right? We take the... we're going to take some damage if we sacrifice the unit, but we can look to just like tap the Dreadhound, but then we're going to have to deal with his unit in the back. I don't think we have time for that. Oh shit. Hang on. I do this wrong like every time. Sacrifice a creature, target something, sacrifice a creature. Okay. I think the Behemoth's too slow here. Right, he's going to have another big flyer coming back next turn. He's probably going to tap our Trapper. Oh, that was lucky. That was lucky. This thing has Death Touch. Alright, so, I mean, we're going to go to combat. He's going to tap our Trapper now that he's kind of figured out where the problem is, which is fine. We can attack with the Flesh Taker. We can probably attack with both. I don't think he ever risks his Flyer when that's a lethal this turn. It'll take the damage. Now we can foul play onto his Geist. Only looking to take 2 now. Okay. We were a little sloppy in this one, but we might have gotten there. Okay. Yeah, that was like, you know, if you're on like next level pro play, I think you can consider that block on when they put the Cathar in front of our 1/1 and we go to make it a 4/4. Like maybe there's a serious amount of leveling that's happening there, but it's kind of like one of those things. Whenever you just played a ton of poker, you could really outthink yourself. Like you would run into these people that you would like occasionally need to get tricky with, but like 95% of the time, like with poker, if you wanted to play poker and win money at the lower stakes, is just play good hands and play straightforward value betting poker. You don't try to bluff anybody, and I think that's probably what we ran into there. Like we should have been like, well, you know, if he's gonna block our potential 4/4 with his 3/1 and just get effing aced, like he's certainly got a trick or a removal spell here, and we should have just let the trade happen, like trade our 1/1 for his 3/1. And move forward from there. There's no reason to be like, oh, I'm going to get you. Like, you know, again, if you're down in bronze, you might be able to get away with that, but I don't think that's the case with the quality of players we're playing against here. All right, can't keep this one. No. Love seeing these behemoths show up, but this is not it. Okay, keep 6. It's tempting to keep the behemoth here, but it might be a little dangerous. This hand looks okay though, especially being on the draw. Yeah, just like little dudes like this, right? If we had some of the dude that gains health whenever a unit comes into play, like Chaplain of Alms, some of these just cheap things you can sacrifice. We're just lacking the sacrifice stuff. This is like whenever we would draft in Runeterra, Do you want to trade a Trapper? I mean, sure. We'll trade the Trapper for his combat trick. In Runeterra, where we would be talking about the what's it called, the Slayer's decks. There we go. In the sense that you know, you got to be out here drafting your hapless aristocrats, and then you can just let the sacrifice cards show up as they do. I think that's how our deck feels like it's gotten here. We just don't have. We only have the one, like, really good sacrificable card of the Novice Occultist, and we don't have the cards like Hobbling Zombie or the Disturbs or whatever to be the real payoff. Okay. No attacks. Let's be efficient here for a bit. We're gonna regret that when he drops some more Cut Behemoth here on turn 5, but I think this is fine. You got it. You got the Behemoth. Stop and read the candle guide. people don't play that too often. Sure. Alright, do we go for it? Do we just go in? He just played a defense straight and he's only got 2 cards left. Okay. Okay. Do your thing, Behemoth. Cross them fingers, no more removals. Did we do it? Oh, Lisa. That's frightening in a different way. Here's what she does when another non-token creature you control dies. Does he just get all these units back? Returns them to hand. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, return that card to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it. Okay. So he's going to get his dudes back. So we need to find the removal spells here. Alright, plan it all. Not gonna lie, that's gonna be annoying to deal with. Okay. They get to pick up the planes. Not a bad combo they got rolling out here. Sure. There's the stuff. It's a little unfortunate given our units and our mana situation, so I think we're going to have to give this a turn. Add Swamp. If he has discard, we're just effed anyways. No attacks this time. Probably shouldn't have attacked last turn. For being real. He got quite a bit of value out of this, but I think we can recover now. Okay. I might be just a little bit too far behind. Hey, Lisa. Sure. Can't can't attack with our demon. We have to have like something to block with this stuff, but I think our behemoth is going to be too slow. We're like a turn short on this. Yeah, we're done. Let's be real with this. We don't have anything to get ourselves out of this. All right, not bad, not bad. We couldn't beat that rear. If we picked up a removal, maybe, but we did play that. Well, the foul play doesn't hit Lisa, so. But nonetheless, I think that turned out okay given the quality of the deck that we assembled. We're growing and learning as it stands. We picked up this bonus 100 gems, and so we'll call that a win for the day. So let's get this draft pulled up again. Talk about it just a little bit. I think so. Let's see this one. I kind of like how that draft played out. I still think I stand by it in the first pack. You just have to kind of take, the most powerful card. If there's no bomb, then you probably just want to take removal. And we didn't really have either of those. But with these black decks, I have had a bit of trouble closing out games. And so I've been pretty happy with the Dreadhound as well. The self-mill is always good. There's a ton of stuff dying, and so being able to go face without attacking is always good. And then there's just no real like high-quality cards here otherwise. And then there is also potential to like wheel something out of this between the Awakener and the Hobbling Zombie. Not super likely, but possibility is there. And then if you just absolutely love drafting werewolves or something, I could see an argument for Village Witch or Village Watch. But all in all, I'm pretty good with the Dreadhound in that pack. Pack 2. This is where I'm not really sure where I stand. Like Flesh Taker isn't a ultra powerful unit. If you are in the white black deck like we were, it's fine. But we didn't have all of the sacrifice effects going on, and so it looked a little weak here. But if we had managed to pick up some of the hapless aristocrats, we would. Have been much happier with this Flesh Taker. But this is where I'm not really sure on where I stand in this format. There's a lot of limited formats. I think I maybe touched on it in a previous video. I can't remember, but there's a lot of limited formats to where it's not uncommon to like get out of pack 1 where you draft like 10 cards out of one color, and then you just look towards like pack 2 and 3 for like a bomb. And so if you end pack 1 with like 10 black cards, and then when we go to pick 2 here and open Ludovic, then you're free to just take Ludovic and say, okay, we're drafting blue-black. I don't think Ludovic is that level of strength, but that's the kind of general strategy you can do in a lot of these formats. And this one doesn't feel like one of those. This feels like you just want to take the strongest card at every corner, because there's not... I had no trouble like filling 23 cards into a deck. The like average quality of all the cards in this format is high enough to where you just never have to make that decision as to where do I want to play a super high rolly 20 card deck today, or do I want to play a more average 23 card deck today. And so with this, I feel like the Flesh Taker is just stronger than the Hobbling Zombie, and it gives us a little bit more direction. But this is the pick that I'm really kind of confused about at the beginning. Feels like the Flesh Taker is the way to go, again, given the power level, but the Hobbling Zombie is still quite reasonable. And then kind of in the same vein here, again, if this was one of these formats to where we're just, hard taking one color and then figuring out the rest later, we could have had this deck that was the pick 1 Dreadhound, the pick 2 Hobbling Zombie, and then pick 3 take Siege Zombie. But again, I don't feel like we're missing out on a whole lot letting the Siege Zombie go. But if we do end up in any of the green decks, I still think Shadow Beast Sighting is the best green card, the best green common in the format. And so happy enough to just take a risk on a Shadow Beast Sighting here. And then I think the Rite of Oblivion is what really charts our course into white black. And so again, kind of to that other degree of we've been talking about is this setup of Dreadhound, Hobbling Zombie, Siege Zombie into Siege Zombie and pick 4, like the way you want to go with this format. I don't know. I don't really have the answer to that. That's I think that's where I'm like really struggling in this up to this point. But I feel like Rite of Oblivion is a strong enough card for us to really settle in and say, okay, well, we have the Rite, the Flesh Taker, and the Dreadhound. We're just going to play white black and force it from that point forward. And so then we get the payoff in Foul Play. This was another kind of ridiculous pack with the Borrowed Time, Foul Play, and Diregraph Horde. But I think the Foul Play is correct in whichever way we're taking that. And then here's where things, we could still just be completely mono black at this point with the Moraket Behemoth. The Grizzly Ghoul is fine, but it's not to the power level of like Rite of Oblivion to where it makes me want to jump into green. But we did already have the Shadow Beast sighting. So if we hadn't taken these Flesh Takers, again, if we'd ended up in this thing to where we took the I wish these would stay in order. Oh, they are kind of, no, they aren't in order at all. So if we did do the Dreadhound into Hobbling Zombie into Siege Zombie, or at least the Dreadhound into like Hobbling Zombie Shadow Beast sighting, I think we probably would be taking the Ghoul over the Behemoth. But I think the Behemoth is quite strong. And then this was, I kind of thought the interesting one of the draft. Not so much the choice here. All these cards are garbage except for the Crossroads Candle Guide or the Combat Trick in our non-combat deck. But I was actually pretty happy with the Crossroads Candle Guide today. And so we'll have to keep that a bit in mind in the future. There are ways to, blow it up. That was the first time I've ever seen someone play Raise the Effigy, so that was kind of whatever. There are a lot of Cathars running around that can destroy it as well. But this 3/4 stat line is pretty meaty, and if this gets to ace a card out of your opponent's graveyard that really matters, that's kind of nice. So I was pleasantly surprised with this. I was expecting it to be kind of horrible, but it wasn't that bad. So the rest of the way, I don't think there was too much interesting here. Siege Zombie amongst a bunch of Garbos, and then nothing else playable. Then I think we were pretty spot on from that point forward. Just we're guaranteed to be in white black. The Opportunist is fantastic in white black. Taking things like Eaten Alive is fantastic in white black. The only problems that we were really running into otherwise in this draft were we just didn't have the sacrificable cards, and to a degree we just didn't see them. That we aren't seeing any of the zombie generators in here. We're not seeing any of the really like 1 cost or 2 cost befoul, whatever, disturb kind of units. And so I think this turned out okay. This was just kind of a low roll in that sense. I think that if we had a handful of novice occultists and a couple more zombie generators, it would look much stronger here. Even curious seeing things like Rotten Reunion, if this should have perhaps made the cut as just the means to generate multiple zombies. I don't really like it, but it does, kind of give us, if we're playing all of the sacrifice cards to kill off all of our own things, it's not losing out that much whenever we're using the Rotten Reunion. So maybe the Rotten Reunion is something I need to consider a little bit more. But otherwise, I think this was pretty straightforward from that point forward. I could see an argument for taking the Cut Purse over a Sun Gold Sentinel, but I think the Sentinel is just so extremely good in this format. It's worth a take. And then here, this is where we're like, well, we gotta have some stuff to sacrifice, so let's pick up a Hobbling Zombie over Flesh Taker. I think at this point that was worth it as well. So yeah, pretty straightforward from this point forward. But yeah, this is where I'm getting hurt, is in this this pack 1 pick 2 situation here, as to where in the past I used to really lean towards just staying open, but I think we got to take the higher quality cards now. But I don't know. Agree or disagree, let me know. All of your all's comments are super helpful. And so I love seeing that. I love when people come in and help me out. That's kind of where the video stuff for me kind of started. Was I did have like a long period in my life. It's like I'd moved to a new city, and I didn't have my magical crew to play with anymore. And so I was mostly just learning to play from LSP. And all his videos he was doing, and this was like before the era of Twitch being a thing, and so there really wasn't that much video content out there, and LSZ was really wonderful and helpful in all of that sense. And so that's kind of the motivation to get this community together was there's someone else out there now that needs a bit of magical community around them, then hopefully we can provide it here. But nonetheless, let's click on these packs, see what opens up. Maybe we'll get something cool. What are you? Tapped creatures get... Oh, this thing's confusing. Tapped creatures get Death Touch. Untapped creatures have Hexproof, and then you can swap them if you want. All right, well, probably reasonable and limited. All right, Malevolent Hermit. Not super impressed with him, but it seems like the kind of constructed level of Disturb cards, but he's way better than Bait Hook Angler, and so he's at least got that going for him. What else do we got? Oh, Stick Fingers. Welcome to the club. We're about to get a rare wild card, aren't we? That's the important thing to be picking up here. Gotta get these older cards we don't have access to. Badrick. This is kind of what I think the state of blue-red is. It's like you get the blue-red rare creature and then you just don't want to play it. I think that's the... I think from the win rate perspective that blue-red is better than black-red, but I've never been in a spot where I wanted to draft blue-red. Yeah, all right, an actual Tovolar. As much the Huntmaster is what I figured to be the good Tovolar, the 6/6 green dude, but yeah, he's strong. He's strong. And you know what? That is going to do it for us today. So, hope everyone enjoyed the draft. You maybe, learned out. You learned the Aristocrats joke. Maybe you can go and Google that one. Your parents will love the. Love to hear that. Just if you're out there, you're getting ready for dinner. Everybody sits down at the table, and you're like, "Hey, mom and dad, I got this joke I'd like for everyone to hear," and then just crack the Aristocrats joke on the on the Bluetooth speaker. It'll be fun. Your parents will enjoy that one, or your grandparents. Anyone you feel like should probably enjoy that joke. But the Aristocrats, that's what we have for you there. And anyways, hope you learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.